What's up, guys? It's Busty and here coming at you with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure deck profile. And I'm so proud to present to you the Marik structure deck from 2010. Now, first of all, before we go into cracking this box, I want to give a huge shout out to Le Paradis de Jaden. I don't know if I said that correctly, probably didn't. Plurigames. I ordered this structure deck unopened from France and it got here super quick. They used a special delivery service. They delivered it with DPD. If you are on eBay, do check out Le Paradis de Jaden. Le Paradis. I don't speak French, guys. I'm very sorry. I'm butchering this. But why am I mentioning this? Well, not only did he deliver as promised, but he's thrown in a bunch of extra goodies. I got candies. I got these uh, caramel carambar le mini carambar cola flavor, um, cheese flavor. No, that's not fresh. Fresh is like yogurt. Lemon. We got another fresh and another lemon. And he's also thrown in some sleeves and a booster of Metal Raiders. Now, Metal Raiders is my favorite set. I can't believe the last time I cracked open an actual booster of Metal Raiders. This is so amazing. So check out his website or her website, which is here, www.paradisdejaden.com, and get yourself an offer. I paid for this stuff, but the seller just was so kind, throwing in all these extra bunches that I thought I'm gonna definitely shout them out. And now onto the structure deck profile. So last time I may have done a bit of a mistake opening that reloaded Yugi starter deck, structure deck on the top. So this time with the Marik one, we're gonna open it at the bottom. And as we found out last time, the glue on these old boxes is like nuke proof. So I'm going in a little bit more harsh, but this is the bottom, and actually did a pretty good job on that. I'm not too worried about this, to be fair. And look at this. Now I've just lost a lot of value, but hey, Yu-Gi-Oh! Why the Marik structure deck? I don't know. Just like the it's like Gravekeeper stuff in here, Lava Golem, a bunch of the really cool classics. So. This is actually really clever how they got this little flap here. Should keep it together. And if you decided you want to put the stuff back in here, you got that flap to put it back in the box. We don't get this kind of stuff anymore with Yu-Gi-Oh. This is also like they've already stopped the little peak window on the front. So surprise, surprise, we do get a playing mat. At this point in time, I think we were still Shonen Jump, so there were no synchro monsters. All we've had was the good old Yu-Gi-Oh technology. But it's yeah. What do you expect? It's got Marik on it. You just bought a structure deck with Marik. It's got Marik on it, and that's exactly what you get. Rulebook. This is weird. This is actually a 5D's rulebook, but this says Shonen Jump. Okay, I'm confused now. Maybe it is from the 5D era. Or maybe this is sort of the transition time. Well, there's a version 7.0, but it's got 5Ds Yu-Gi-Oh! On it. Oh, that is a mystery. If you know anything about this, let me know in the comments below. And of course, one of my favorite pieces of documentation is how to play the deck. So, Gravekeeper's Commandant searches Necro Valley. Gravekeeper Spy searches your Gravekeeper monsters. Lava Golem works really well with Nightmare Steel Cage, Nightmare Wheel. And you got the Darkroom of Nightmares to run with Bogania and Coffin Cellar. And of course, the great bit is, by the way, now that you have this theme deck, if you spend a bunch more money on boosters, you can, oh yeah, you will make this deck even more powerful by buying Hidden Arsenal 2 or buying the Legendary Collection, the first one, which has of course, the Egyptian god cards. Dragon Knight Draco Equistine, Julius Revolution. Uh, what doesn't work with Necro Valley? That's a nice little hints and trips. Um, hints and tricks, and we get a deck list here. I think these should still come with the new released starter decks. Oh, we got two collector's cards in here: Mystical Beast of Circuit and Temple of the Kings. But they're not allowed in advanced format tournament play. Let's have a look at the deck then. There we go. Look at this beautiful, um, beautiful, but the lava golem is already damaged. Look there. Beautiful, but how disappointing. How disappointing. Especially for the money you have to pay for these theme decks sealed nowadays, even used. You're lucky if you find one of these used and fully complete and it's not being robbed of half the stuff in it. Okay, we're in, people. It seems only Lava Golem is damaged though. But I never really like it. Okay, if you don't have the window on the structure deck, why put one of the most valuable cards on the front where you know that you're running extra levels of risk of damage in it? I don't understand the thought process behind it. Maybe there is none. But this is open. So we get a Lava Golem, as expected. Cannot be normal summoned on set. Can only be special summoned to your opponent's side of the field by tributing 2 monsters they control. You cannot normal summon or set the turn you special summon this card. This monster's controller takes 1000 damage during each of their standby phases. And if you combine it with cards that stop your opponent from attacking, like, what was it? The Cage, Nightmare Steel Cage, or Swords of Revealing Light, that stops your opponent from attacking with the 3000 attack monster you just gave him. And if you can ensure that those spell cards do stay in game, then you got nothing to worry about. It's a nice win con. But yeah, you have to work around it. But Lava Golem, fantastic. We get a Mystical Beast of Circuit. Destroy this card if you do not control Temple of the Kings. Each time this card destroys a monster by battle, the destroyed monster is removed from play, and this card gains 500 attack. By the way, it's a 1 tribute 2500 beater. And we also get Temple of the Kings. Temple of the Kings. The controller of this card activate trap cards in the same turn they are set. If you control Mystical Beast of Circuit and this card, you can send both the graveyard special summon one monster from your hand deck or extra deck. Nice! Extra summon, always good. Moving on. These are the three. We get 3 super rares in a starter. Fantastic stuff. Last time we had 3 supers in a starter was way back in the original starters up until the Joey Pegasus ones. We got a copy of Gilgarth, which is an 1800 beater fiend. We get a Mystic Tomato. The Mystic Tomato is fantastic. It's a nice little wheeler. We got Visor Des. When this card is normal, summon, select one monster your opponent controls. Destroy that monster during your third standby phase after the summon. Cannot be destroyed battle until this effect resolves. We get Legendary Fiend, again a 1 tribute, 1500, 1800 attacker. During each of your standby phases, this card gains 700 attack, so eventually it does become good. We get Dark Jarwoid. When this card is summoned, select one face-up monster on the field, it loses 800 attack. It's okay, it's nothing to write home about. We got New Doria. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, select one monster on the field and destroy it. So you kind of want to get rid of this. We get 2 copies of Gravekeeper's Spy. I wish that was 3, but 2 is still cool. We get 1 Gravekeeper's Curse. When this card is summoned, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. We get the classic Gravekeeper's Guard, 2 of. Flip, select 1 monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand. And we also get 1 Spear Soldier. Is there more space here? Yes. There is. We will make some more space. There you go. We got a Gravekeeper's Chief. This card can only control this. You can only control this 1 Gravekeeper Chief in your and your graveyard is unaffected by Necro Valley. We got there. When this card is tribute summon, you can select 1 Gravekeeper's monster from your graveyard and special summon it. Unfortunately, it's a 1 tribute monster though. We get a Cannon Holder. You can tribute 1 Gravekeeper's monster except Gravekeeper's Cannon Holder to inflict 700 damage to your opponent. We also get the Gravekeeper's Assailant, one of the staple Gravekeeper's monsters. If Necro Valley is on the field, when this card declares an attack, you can select 1 monster, face-up monster your opponent controls, and change its battle position. And we get 2 copies of Assailant. We get Dralago. If the only card your opponent controls are face-up monsters with 1600 or more attack, this monster can attack your opponent directly, and it's a 1600 attacker. We get Boganian. During each of your standby phases, inflict 600 damage to your opponent. So again, very, very Marik-like, that he doesn't want to attack. He's just going to defend, you know, sort of roll monster into monster, and you take damage from Lava Golem, you take damage from Bogania, direct damage into you. Your monsters gain attack whilst your opponent's monsters lose attack, kind of thing. We also get a Gravekeeper's Commandant, which is really good. It can get you a Necro Valley. Discard this card to your graveyard to add 1 Necro Valley from your deck to your hand. This basically replaces terraforming in Gravekeeper's decks. We get a Visionary, Gravekeeper's Visionary. This is one of our boss monsters that we will use. You can normal summon this card by tributing 1 Gravekeeper's monster. So rather than 2 tributes, you can just single tribute, 1 tribute if that is a Gravekeeper's monster, which is pretty cool actually. This card gains 200 attack for each Gravekeeper's monster in your graveyard, so immediately it's probably going to come down as a 2200 attacker. If this face-up card on the field would be destroyed, you can discard 1 Gravekeeper's monster instead, and again that's going to pump itself, so that's a pretty amazing card actually. We got Gravekeeper's Descendant. You can tribute 1 face-up Gravekeeper's monster you control, except this card to destroy 1 card your opponent controls. Again, fantastic, like a really good toolbox. And think about with 2 spies, yeah, maybe it's not 3, but 2 spies, a lot of these cards will work as toolbox cards. We got an MST, such a staple. Love MST, really, really cool magic card. Of course, our spell card, shall I say. Nightmare Steel Cage stops all monsters from attacking for 2 turns, and you destroy this card during your opponent's second end phase after this card's activation. As I said, it's a lot like well, it's a worse version of Swords of Revealing Light, but it still works out really well with Lava Golem. We do have a creature swap. You can do a lot of tech stuff with creature swap. Got a Book of Moon, only 1, but 1's better than none, as I tend to say. Dark Room of Nightmare. Each time your opponent takes damage from a card effect, except Dark Room of Nightmare, inflict 300 damage to your opponent. So, you know, your Cannon Holder, Lava Golem, what else is there? Bogania, they're all going to be coming really well with Dark Room of Nightmare. Of course, the big card, really expensive nowadays. We got 2 Necro Valleys in this starter deck, in this team deck. It's really, really good. We also get a Foolish Burial, which is also, well, it does cost a bit of money, but those Necro Valleys, man, those are expensive. Foolish Burial, send 1 monster card from your deck to the graveyard. Particularly good with Visionary, for example. Magical Stone Excavation. Discard 2 cards to select 1 spell card from your graveyard, add it to your hand. We also get an Allure of Darkness, really good card to draw with. We have, with the exception of Lava Golem and Mystical Beast of Circuit, everything is a dark monster except Commandant. So maybe with very few caveats, but pretty much every other monster is dark monster, so it's not really going to be a problem to discard one dark monster. Draw 2 cards. That does get you, obviously, a bit of a card selection. You're not going to go up on cards, but at least it's card selection. Acid Trap Hole, another fantastic card. Um, the Evil Brother of Trap Hole, of course. This one selects one face down defense position monster, flip it face up. If the monster's defense is 2000 or less, destroy it. If the monster's defense is more than 2000, flip the monster to face down defense position. We get a Mirror Force. We get a Skull Invitation as well. Each time a card is sent to the graveyard, inflict 300 damage to its owner for each card sent. Coffin Cellar. Each time a monster card or monster cards is sent to your opponent's graveyard, inflict 300 damage to your opponent. Nightmare Wheel. Select one monster your opponent controls. It cannot attack or change its battle position. When it is removed from the field, destroy this card. During each of your standby phases, your opponent takes 500 damage, so just direct damage. Metal Reflect Slime. This gives you a 3000 defense monster, basically. And we have Malevolent Catastrophe. Activate only when your opponent's monster declares an attack. Destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. So kind of like Heavy Storm, but not as good. And we have Dark Illusion. Negate the activation of a spell card, trap card, or effect monster effect that targets a face-up dark monster and destroy that card. Fits perfectly into this theme. So this is obviously an upgrade on the original Gravekeeper deck design. It introduces a lot of new cards, a lot of powerful Gravekeeper monsters that you can operate with. It is a product of its era, of course. It comes from 2010, and just by default, it's going to have some 2010 stuff, but it does luckily sort of lean into the previous era of Yu-Gi-Oh as well. So I'm looking forward to test this theme deck out against some of my other theme decks. If you haven't checked out my deck profiles and other theme decks, I do have a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh theme decks and sort of like just casual decks put together as well that you can browse through. Shall we open the Metal Raiders? Oh, go on then. Let's open the Metal Raiders. The bonus. Open the Metal Raiders. No one's expecting it. We're 18 minutes into the video. Ooh. Do you guys smell these boosters? I do. Oh man, this really takes me back. Jesus. Oh, Metal Raiders. Love it. Don't know where the rare is. It's not the last one, but it's OG. It's not even. Yeah, this is OG, MRD, European. Fucking hell. Love it. Love it so much. Oh my god. So we have a Mega Thunderball, Ancient Lizard Warrior, 1400 beater. Prevent. Oh my god. Prevent Rat. So iconic. Crawling Dragon. Of course, nobody's ever played Crawling Dragon. Ooh, our rare is a white magical hat. I'll take that. I'll take that. It's better than a Great Moth or something like that. A Metal Dragon. I'll take a white magical hat any day from an MRD. Yeah. Cyber Saurus. Dragon Piper. And a Tongyo. And a Soul Release. Woo! Well, that's a white magical hat. I didn't actually own a copy of White Magical. It's certainly not an MRD or OG White Magical hat, so This is amazing. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much, and thanks for everybody for tuning in. If nothing else, hopefully it was worthwhile for this white magical hat being cracked open from an original MRD. Oh, this is. Oh, when I received this post this morning, it's absolutely made my day. Absolutely made my day. Thank you so much. Well, up until next time, guys. Bussin signing out. Peace.